Hey guys, we're going to be trying some new makeup today. I am so excited. I've got the Hung Vanngo Red Carpet Skin Luminous Foundation, and I have it in the shade number 5. I actually went in store. I went to the Sephora at Caesars, and I went and checked out all the shades, and I was like testing them all out. He has so many shades, and some of them are super duper close. So I hope I chose wisely. I hope I chose wisely. So anyway, we're definitely going to be playing with that. I do also have, which I've misplaced already, what's going on? I do also have the new Westman Atelier. Oh, I put it back here. Sorry, the Westman Atelier Super Loaded Tinted Highlight in Parla. So if you guys watched my PR haul yesterday, you will have seen this, and I did a swatch there. That's why it looks used. But I have that. I have the new Kosas Cloud Set Translucent Loose Powder in Ultra Sheer Light. I think that's the name. Sway is the name. The description is Ultra Sheer Light. So they just came out with skin toned loose powders. I believe there's 6 of them. So I'm really excited to try that because, you know, I have the pink and the yellow one. I think it's buttery and rose. And I love those two. I love them. So I'm really excited for that. I do also have, I don't know if I can use this along with the Westman Atelier. I don't know, maybe we'll do one on each cheek. But I do also have the new-ish Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Highlighter in the shade Glazed Goddess. And I ran to Ulta and got this. No, I ordered this from Ulta online, and the package got lost or whatever. Anyway, I wanted to use this and review it for you guys much earlier, but the package like just recently arrived. So anyway, I have that now. I do also have what is wrong with me? I feel like I keep losing stuff, and this room is tiny. So how does one do that? I don't know. If I can lose something, I will. But I'm just going to hold this up as reference, but I have the Caramel Glow of the One Size Patrick Star On Till Dawn Bronze Veil Setting Spray. You guys know I've been loving the Cocoa Glow. This is like almost done. And they sent over the Caramel Glow as well, which is lighter, but I suspect it's also warmer. So we'll see which one I like better. And then Patrick Ta sent this over. So I was about to open this up in the PR haul yesterday, but I was not allowed to speak about this until, it says on this card, until August 2nd, which is today. So please do not post me until August 2nd. You're the first to experience our next major launch designed to celebrate all the ways we define ourselves. I get the feeling that we're talking about like contour stick of some sort, but this is what the PR package looks like. So I don't even know. But let's open this up. So we have this faux croc bag here, and inside we've got, let's see, Major Sculpt Shape and Shade Anywhere Artistry Stick. Yes. So they sent over, wow, 4 shades? 4 shades. My goodness. Here, I'll just hold these up. So we've got a whole range there. I guess some of these are meant to be, oh yeah, spotlight. So spotlight, highlight, structure, and silhouette. Interesting. I thought it was just going to be like contour sticks. And then this book, oh, what is this? Oh, I don't know why. I assumed it was going to be some sort of makeup case, but this is actually like an organizer. Oh, wow. Okay, here is a picture of all of the shades. And yeah, it looks like we've got some highlight, even some conceal, some corrector tones, some contour tones down here. Without all the caps and stuff, this actually looks like a mechanical pencil, doesn't it? Oh, how cool. And then this is actually a diary. It's like a journal. And look at these stickers. These stickers, how cute. They're like clear, puffy stickers. And then, oh, it's got all these prompts up here in the diary. Okay, Michelle, put it away. That's not why we're here. So we've got those to try. And then Hourglass sent me those Phantom Blur Balms. I did not pick them up myself because they have like this soft, like matte finish to them. And I usually like a glossy, juicier kind of lip. But when I swatched them in yesterday's PR haul, they felt really, really soft and weightless. So I just really want to try them. So I have a whole bunch of these Phantom Blur Balms. So we'll try those out. All right, let's dig in and let's start with the Red Carpet Skin Luminous Foundation. So here is the packaging for the foundation. Let's see, yes. I assume that we have a squeezy pointy tip there. And actually, let me cap it back up and shake it. Yeah. Definitely a shake well situation. And he came out with all of these shades and didn't really deem any of them like a cool or neutral or warm. What he did was just kind of create all these shades right around neutral. So there is no perfect neutral, right? It's always neutral, a little bit cool, neutral, warm leaning or whatever. So that's basically what he did. So I'm gonna just squeeze a little bit out so you can get a sense of the shade and the texture. So it is a serum foundation. It does have a light texture to it, but it's not runny. You can see it's not like just running down the back of my hand. But that is shade number 5. I think that'll be fun. You know, it's funny. I ran out and got this foundation before I went to New York. And when I was in New York, I spent a lot of time, you know, at my friend's lake house or whatever. And I think I got a little bit of color, but it should be fine. The color will probably fade within a couple of weeks anyway. Okay. So I'm going to take my Chantecaille Blend and Smooth brush. I'm just going to pick up a little bit. And just start right there. Wow, this is very highly pigmented because I feel like I picked up just a little bit. The texture of this is so thin, so it just feels like nothing, like you're not putting anything on your face, yet it really like blanked out any of that hyperpigmentation I have here. Those darker spots I have here, those are pretty much eradicated. And I remember reading the description of these. The coverage, actually let me look it up on Sephora so I'm not just making stuff up, but I'm pretty sure it said that it was a medium to high coverage foundation. Let's see. Coverage is medium. Finish is Radiant Natural Matte. Formulation is serum. There is hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid. This is great if you have dry skin like I do. So that provides hydration for smooth, luminous skin. Microspheres, so blurs the look of imperfections with a soft focus effect. Niacinamide and licorice extract promotes smoother, brighter, more even looking skin. Yes, so it says a concentrated yet weightless long-wear serum foundation that delivers medium to full coverage with a hydrated, naturally blurred finish. All right, okay, I did remember that. I actually remembered it correctly. Amazing. Okay, what do we think of this shade? I think that works pretty well for me. It is actually a little bit yellow, I feel like. I don't know, can you guys see? I feel like you can see a little bit of the pink in my neck, especially up against this shade. On the Sephora site, when you actually tap on the color chips, it will give you like the tones. So mine is described as fair to light. It's neutral, slightly warm. So I would definitely agree with that. I maybe should try 4, which is dark fair, neutral, or is there one, maybe 6, which is light, neutral, slightly cool. That could possibly work for me too. Anyway, it's the difference between all these shades were so minor. Like when I was in store, I'm pretty sure I tried 4, 5, and 6, and I was like, I'm just gonna go with 5. I think 5 is fine. Okay, let me squeeze out a little bit more. And I'm just applying it to half of my face. So we can see the difference here. I just love a foundation that has medium to full coverage, but does not look makeup-y at all. This does not look makeup-y at all. I feel like the last time I said this was with the Dior foundation stick. I was like, for some reason, even though it does so much like evening, where for a lot of other foundations that have like high coverage, it makes me feel like I'm just kind of wearing a mask. But there's something really, really natural about this foundation. Maybe it's the finish, maybe it's the texture, maybe it's the blurring. I see a lot of blurring going on, you guys. So smooth. Look at that. It's actually pretty amazing. Okay, let me put this on the other half of my face. Wow, I am really, really impressed with how blurred my skin looks. Wow, that is amazing. And for those of you with dry skin out there and you don't necessarily always want to set your makeup down with powder, this doesn't feel especially tacky either. You could probably get away without powdering. I would always suggest powdering around your eyes where there's just a lot of movement. There's a lot of products that can deteriorate if, you know, it's like an oil on oil situation, so you just may want to powder, but you may not have to powder everywhere. Does it say it's like self-setting? Let's see. The formula features patented polymer technology, a smooth, soft film that never feels dry and ensures fade-proof and long wear. It also features vitamin E, an emollient known for antioxidant protection. Okay. Wow, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. First impressions is it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right, well, I do have some of the Kosas loose powder that I wanted to try. So maybe I'll just focus that around my eyes. We'll see how it does there, because I'm not actually a fan of the Kosas like pressed powder. It's baked, but they're powder in a compact. I'm not the biggest fan of it, and I love their loose powder, so it's very strange. But anyway, I'm excited they came out with these skin tone shades. So it comes in this kind of packaging with the flip top, so same as the other shades that they came out with, the pink and the buttery and all those. They did also send a little puff over, so I'm going to use that. Okay, I'm just going to focus that under my eyes and my eyelids. Pretty decent. Yeah, their loose powder is so great. I don't know why their baked powder just doesn't work for me, but this looks really nice. It did even more blurring on top of the on top of the blurring foundation. Lovely. Okay, I am going to try just a different method because I just want to play around a little bit. I want to use a brush to apply the powder. I'm going to use this Hourglass powder brush and just pounce around my eye area and sweep away any excess. Yeah, it looks great. Super smooth under the eyes. You know what I am noticing? The foundation is starting to sink into my expression lines here. So what I'm going to try and do, I'm actually going to press in those areas, kind of reset it a little bit. And then I'm going to apply some powder there, see if that helps. I'm going to use a puff for that. Just press. Okay, we'll see how that does over time. But I really like this powder. I like it, I mean, so far I like it as much as the buttery and the pink one, the rosy. Okay, now for the Patrick Ta Major Sculpt Shape and Shade Anywhere Artistry Stick. Let's try, okay, these are the two darker shades that he sent, the Silhouette and the Structure. So let's start with these two. Okay, so we've got the crayon, which is twist up and down on one end, and then we've got that, it looks like a sponge, but it's actually a brush. It's just a very, very dense brush. So that could come in handy. I'm trying to think. I would need a bigger brush, like if I'm contouring out my cheeks. Oh, but like the side of the nose, it could be really handy for that. Okay, all right. And here's some swatches. So the lighter one over here, that one is Structure. And then the deeper one over here is silhouette. You know what, I'm gonna open up these lighter ones because I wonder if I'm gonna wanna kind of play with both at the same time. So he sent over the shades Highlight and Spotlight. So packaging, same idea. I really love that the outer packaging mimics the shade on the inside. So here we've got Spotlight, and then here's Highlight. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Structure, which was the lighter of the two deeper shades that he sent. And I'm just gonna start with where I normally contour, right here, right here, and right here, here. Yeah, let's just start there. And I guess I'll use the built-in brush. Let's try it just on my nose here. Okay, it blends out really, really easily. It's not overly pigmented, which I think is nice because that I think can be really, really intimidating, especially when it comes to contour. Yeah, I need a bigger brush for my cheeks. I'm gonna use this Monica Blunder brush. I think this is her foundation brush. Okay, what do we think of the tone? I really like the tone. I think it is cool enough without being too gray, too dramatic, and quite effective. I feel like in the viewfinder I can really see my nose contour. I don't see it that well actually in person, but that's exciting. Okay, I'm gonna use the Spotlight to bring forward some areas on my face. I don't usually do this. I don't usually get that crazy with my makeup, but it is fun every once in a while. So I'm going to, actually I'm just gonna use the lighting and see like where the light is hitting my face. So obviously the bridge of my nose here, between my brows. I see it hitting over here. This area. This area. A little bit here. A little bit here. And here. Okay, all done. Can you imagine if I walked out like this? Okay, I'm gonna use that built-in brush for the smaller areas. Actually, I think for highlighting, they're all pretty small. I wonder if highlighting that area is actually making my under eyes look more sallow. Yeah, maybe that was not the best call. But maybe I can use the highlight stick. So this is the Spotlight, but maybe I can use the highlight stick for my under eyes. Because I don't necessarily want them to kind of come at you in terms of like light and dark, but I don't want them to look shadowed. So I'm going to use the highlight stick under my eyes here. I didn't really use concealer. I guess I could use concealer too, but let's see how this works. Use the brush. Okay, interesting. It's so funny. It's so stark before you actually put like some color in, like the blush, maybe a little bit of like highlight or whatever, actual like shiny highlight, shadow and lipstick and everything. Everything looks so stark, which I think is the point, right? We're kind of creating like a black and white image of my face right now. Okay, so those are really easy to use. In terms of contour sticks and like what we're doing, I really like this small like stylus pen format for that, like especially for the nose and like the little areas. And I would sacrifice a larger stick to have this one size stick, although I would prefer like a larger one for my cheeks just to make things faster. But yeah, I really like the tones. I really like the formula. Blended out really, really nicely, really easily, really evenly. So nice. Awesome. Okay. So there is a blush that I want to try. It is not new, but it's new to me. And it's in this formula that I absolutely love. It's from RMS Beauty. It's the Redimension Hydra Powder Blush. And I have so many of these shades, but I don't think I ever had Crystal Slipper. I'm actually going to look at my collection right now and see if I had it. No, I have Mai Tai, French Rosé, Maiden's Blush, and Pomegranate Fizz. I feel like it reminds me of Maiden's Blush. Let's see. Oh, it's a little bit lighter. Okay, so Maiden's Blush is this guy, and then here is Crystal Slipper. So it's like a lighter version of that, which is so fantastic because I love this Maiden's Blush. Yeah, Maiden's Blush. So let me do a swatch of this Crystal Slipper. Oh, that's so pretty. It's so pretty. I'll just, for good measure, swatch Maiden's Blush right underneath. Oh, those are stunning, stunning. Okay, so I want to use this new Crystal Slipper. I've got my Chantecaille cheek brush. That just glides on beautifully and has such a beautiful sheen. Gorgeous, beautiful, I love it. The RMS Redimension Hydra Powder Blush in Crystal Slipper. Love it. Okay, let's move on to highlighters. So I've got two highlights I want to try. First, we've got this new shade from Westman Atelier in Parla, Peau de Parla. So this is the Super Loaded Tinted Highlight. These are not the lit up highlight sticks. So these are the ones that come in the compact. They are a cream. They usually have, I want to say like a little bit more pigmentation than the lit up highlight sticks. These are, how can I describe them? Yeah, they're just a little bit more opaque than the highlight sticks. The highlight sticks are a little bit more balmy. These have almost like a powdery feel to them versus the lit up highlight stick. And when I hauled this during my PR haul yesterday, I was talking about how I thought maybe she had this shade as a limited edition a few years ago. That's not the case. It was her lit up highlight stick, which she did have as limited edition, and then it is now part of her regular like lit up highlight stick line. So I did want to just do a comparison between this highlight stick and this super loaded tinted highlight. So I'll do the highlight stick there. Yeah, these are much more emollient, the lit up highlight sticks. So here is the lit up highlight stick. You'll see it's more emollient, it's glossier. And then here's the super loaded tinted highlight, which is, yeah, it's just much more opaque. The texture of it is just a little bit thicker, while this feels just a little bit more wet. And there's a lot more translucency there. I think what's interesting in this swatch is it looks like there's a little bit of a bronze, but kind of peach tone to it, where I'm not sure you could see that in the compact. Maybe a little bit, but yeah, I feel like it shows up a little bit warmer swatched, which I think is great. Otherwise, I feel like this would be a little bit too deep and cool tone for me as a highlight, but I'm just going to pick up a little bit with my finger and just tap that on. You can always use a brush. And in fact, the blender brush, this brush from Westman Atelier, I believe was designed for this compact. It's meant to fit like perfectly in there and give you just enough room to kind of swirl it around a bit. Wow, that's actually really pretty. I was not sure if this tone was going to work for my skin tone, but it's lovely. I am actually going to use the brush now. So that's the application with just my finger. I'm going to use the brush now and swirl it around, and then See, like, if I can really build this up, if you want something quite shiny. It actually stays pretty subtle, which I enjoy. It's so pretty. These super loaded tinted highlights are so interesting because I don't think they're a typical highlight, but like you can kind of put it down all over your cheeks, sort of as like a cheek primer. They're very, very interesting. And all the different shades that she has are just so gorgeous. Like the Peau de Parla is the original one. And this, whoa, and this one has such a cool, like cool toned peachy rose. And this is really great kind of all over the cheek as a base. Gorgeous. Or you can like kind of lightly just put it all over your cheek on top of your products too. It's just a really cool, versatile product. Like it really, I don't know, it really kind of inspires me to like play around with the makeup. Okay, so that's the Super Loaded Tinted Highlight in Parla, the newest shade. But I do also have this Charlotte Tilbury stick that I wanted to try. So this is in Glazed Goddess. And I tend to really like the Charlotte Tilbury stick products. I find them to be really easy to use. They tend to always have a finish that I really like. Yeah, they just look really beautiful on the skin. So I have pretty high expectations for this. And while I have these two other swatches from Westman Atelier in my hand, I'm going to swatch this right next door. Okay, well, right off the bat, this has more micro glitter in there. I can actually see it in my studio lighting. Micro glitter is usually something I can only see when I'm out in like natural light. So when I can see it in my studio lighting, it's probably pretty prominent. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to swatch this, the Lisa Eldridge, the Victoria Beckham, and then the Westman Atelier in natural lighting so we can see like the true finish of these. Okay, well that was challenging because usually I'm filming first thing in the morning and the light is streaming in like into this room at the perfect angle, but right now it's like midday, so the sun is right overhead. So it's not actually coming into any of my windows, so I had to go outside. I had to go outside and take the photo. Okay, so let me just share with you which swatches are which. So from like elbow to wrist, we've got the Victoria Beckham. Then next to that, we have the Charlotte Tilbury. Then we have the Westman Atelier, the Super Loaded Tinted Highlight in Parla. And then next to that, and this is, I'm sorry, my picture gets, I feel like a little bit fuzzy, but that's the Lit Up Highlight Stick in Parla. And then right on my wrist is the Lisa Eldridge, the Balm in Butterfly Light. So the Victoria Beckham one, which is the first one closest to my elbow, that one is definitely the most sparkly, but you can see the Charlotte Tilbury next to it. It's kind of a close second in terms of sparkles. The tone of the Charlotte Tilbury one also looks a little bit more yellow versus the Victoria Beckham, which looks a little bit more peach. And then the Super Loaded Tinted Highlight, you could see that that one, how can I put it? It has like the least translucency. So it's like the thickest out of them all, but it also seems to be the smoothest, right? I don't see any sort of micro glitters in there. I see less micro glitters in the Lit Up Highlight Stick. I see less glitter in the Lisa Eldridge, which I've already demonstrated for you guys in a previous video when I compared that to the Victoria Beckham. So the Charlotte Tilbury, unfortunately, it does seem like there's quite a bit of micro glitter in there when you get it out into natural light, but I still want to check it out. Yeah, I can even see the micro glitter in the stick. So, okay, let me just use my finger and I'm going to apply it to this cheek. So we've got the Parla on this cheek. And just going to tap this in. I mean, the texture is quite nice. You know, it has that nice kind of balmy emollients. It's actually maybe not quite as emollient as the Lit Up Highlight Stick from Westman Atelier, but it's close. And yeah, it actually has less impact than the Parla in terms of reflect. You can see that there. This is actually kind of a soft highlight. I don't know why that surprises me. I don't know. I just feel like Charlotte Tilbury would have like kind of a slammin' highlight, but this is kind of subtle, which I do not mind. Although, what is on my face right now? What is that? Like a little speck of something. Yeah, it's quite subtle. It's quite translucent, very balmy. Nice. Okay. All right. So those are the highlights that I wanted to try and show you guys. But before we get to eyeshadow, let me just fill in my brows here. I've got my Dior Onset Brow Gel in black. Fill that in. Okay, so for eyes, I don't have any new eyeshadow, which is very odd, but I do have a new eyeliner from Ilia. This is the Through Line Waterproof Eyeliner. Is that the full name? Yeah, Through Line Waterproof Eyeliner. They sent over 4 shades. These go on so smoothly, like super duper, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like dark. Like the line is really, really pigmented. It's dark, but it's super smooth. It just glides right on. Really, really nice. So I thought I would use one of the Ilia eyeshadow sticks to pair with it. So I've got the shade Beam, which is just this really nice light, like champagne color. It's very pretty. As a nice one and done. So I'm just gonna glide that over my lids. I'm going to use my Chantecaille Blend and Conceal brush, this guy right here. Okay, Beam is on. Now, I've got these 4 eyeliner options. 2 are shimmer and 2 are matte, and they've come out with, I believe, 10 different shades. Let me do swatches of all these. So we've got, of course, a straight up black and brown. They just glide right on. And then this is like a shimmery bronze, which, oops, I'm drawing it right on like the bone in my hand, sorry. This one is called Abstract. So that's the shimmery bronze. And then there's a shimmery, kind of like a mid-tone brown. And this one is called Flourish. Think I will use Flourish, this last one that I swatched. Like so easy, glides right on. Each pigment in the eyeliner is coated with avocado oil, but they do set down and they are, you know, transfer resistant, smudge proof, waterproof, all of that good stuff. I'm just going to take this BK Beauty N12 brush and just smudge out that line a little bit before it totally sets down. There we go. All right, let me curl my lashes and throw on some mascara. I'm actually going to go back to my Suku mascara because they're getting old at this point and I'm not done with them. I started testing all these other ones out, but I've got the Suku Defining Eyelash Base, and then I've got the 3D Eyelash Mascara. So I'm going to put the base on first. Apply the mascara. Okay, now for lips, I've got the Hourglass Phantom Blur Balms. They sent over, let's see, 5 different shades, and I did some quick swatches for you guys during that PR haul yesterday, but I will do them again. Okay, so from top to bottom, we've got Spell, Echo, Whisper, Mirage, and Enigma. Okay, so let's start with Spell. And I'm not going to use any lip liner, even though I feel like I need it, but I'm not going to use any lip liner so you can get a sense of the colors just all by themselves. So there is Spell. It's so strange. I feel like my eyes are playing tricks on me because this is so matte looking. like so matte looking, but it's not matte feeling at all. And so I'm having a hard time kind of reconciling the two. But yeah, it feels like a real slippy kind of balm. But then like when I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my God, it's like so powdery looking. Yeah, a really comfortable matte lip. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I really do feel like my eyes are playing tricks on me. Okay, so that is Spell. Here is Echo. Okay, there is Echo. This is pinker than Spell. Spell had a peachiness to it. Here is Whisper. This is like a very light berry tone. This is pretty. You know, it's so interesting. It's like, I like shades depending on the finish. Like this, I think I probably wouldn't like as much as the previous two, because you know, I generally like a lightish pink, lightish peach, like those nude shades. But this is really nice as a matte finish, while those I didn't like as much. Interesting. Oh, so that is Whisper. Okay, next we have Mirage. These are a little crumbly. The formula of these are very, very soft. So it's like you want to make sure that you just raise up just enough and don't press down too hard because they'll kind of like crumble onto your lips. Okay, here is Mirage. I don't think the shade went on very evenly, but it could be because this is the fourth one I'm trying. And my lips are starting to feel a little dry and chapped. But here's Mirage, which is basically like a deeper shade of, what was the one I just tried? Whisper? I think Whisper. A deeper version of Whisper, that's what I meant to say. And last but not least, we have Enigma. Okay, there is Enigma. I still cannot get over how these don't feel matte at all, but they look so matte. So, so matte. Oh, God. Did I have something up my nose this whole time? Probably. Okay, moving on. So I do have the Patrick Star Caramel Glow spray that I do want to spray on my face to finish. However, I do want to check in on the foundation before I do that. It is looking great. I mean, I've been filming maybe an hour at this point, so looking great so far. The finish of it has stayed the same. It hasn't gotten any more glowy, and I'm not like full on sweating, but it is very, very hot in my filming room right now. So I'm definitely a little, you know, I'm not schwitzing, but like close. I'm close. I'm close to like drip sweating. Anyway, I will say that it is definitely kind of sunk into my expression lines here. I mean, these are pretty deep, right? I think that's just what's going to happen. I did add that powder on top. It helped a little bit. But I will say, like, underneath my eyes and everything, like, everything looks really good. You know what I think is flaking off? Sorry, I keep seeing these little specks. It's the mascara. I think it's too old. Pooey. Pooey, pooey. Yeah, as soon as, like, mascara just passes its prime, it just starts acting funky. I think I have to get rid of it. Okay. Anyway, I think under my eyes it looks good. I love the Patrick Ta, those crayons, those were really nice. This blush from RMS is gorgeous. The highlight is gorgeous. I do, if I had to choose, I do most definitely prefer the Westman Atelier over the Charlotte Tilbury. Kind of sad, because like I said, I usually really, really love the Charlotte Tilbury stick products, like the blushes, and then she has that, it's like a foundation, but it's almost like her Hollywood Flawless filter in a stick. You know that one, it's like white with the rose gold. Anyway, that I love, absolutely love. It was okay. It's okay. Not a lot of shine. It's very, very natural, but it's got those micro glitters in there. So it's okay. The Ilia eyeliners, very, very nice. These Phantom Blur Balms, just such an interesting lip product. Yeah. Okay, so let's try this Caramel Glow from One Size. I'm so excited. I'm wondering if I can do, how could I do swatches to compare the two? Maybe I can spray onto like a paper towel and then we can compare the tones. Because I think it'll just be really weird if I try and just like spray them next to one another on my arm or something. Let's try this. Oh, I'm getting it on my hand. Okay, now I've got Cocoa Glow. Okay, here's Caramel Glow, here's Cocoa Glow. You know, the Caramel Glow has like a peachy kind of tint to it. It's actually not as warm as I thought it was going to be. I don't see a lot of orange in there, which is great. But you know what I do see? That I only see a little bit in the Cocoa Glow, but I feel like I see micro glitters in the Caramel Glow. It could be on the paper towel, but this is a fresh paper towel. You know what? Let's just try it. Let's try it. All right, Caramel Glow. Let me put my hair back. A little bit there. Okay. All right. Very subtle, but like all of the Patrick Star sprays that I've tried, they just make your complexion look flawless. Like totally filtered. Oh my God, I'm gonna spray just one more light spray because don't we want to glow? Wow. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And it is most definitely more subtle than the Cocoa Glow. God, I really, really love these sprays. I almost am turning into that person where I don't feel like my makeup is like complete and finished until I spray one of these on my face. One of these. Have you guys tried his other sprays? He has mattifying ones, which, because I have dry skin, I've just stayed away from it. But like, do you love them? Like, how's the finish? He's got one with an SPF in there. I mean, these are so great. Where are these made? Made in the US. Is this made in the US? This is made in the US. Where is this made? Oh, this one's made in Japan. Interesting. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into this try new makeup video. I've given you all my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'll link to everything that I use down below in my description box. If it's on YouTube Shopping, you'll see the products kind of pop up down below underneath the video now. And subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.